Could the Dallas Stars actually catch the Jets for top spot in the Western Conference? Have the Blues solidify themselves as the last Western Conference team in the playoffs? And are the Senators actually about to guarantee themselves a spot in the NHL Playoffs? Which all the game recaps from the past couple days and how it affected the standings coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the End-to-End Hockey Channel. Now before we begin this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below. Thank you for all of your support. I would never be able to do this without all of you guys, so if you haven't already, don't forget the subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel, and we're on the road to 500 subscribers. And don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on all I was discussed here today. So in today's video, we've got another game recap video that sees some major shiftment in the Western Conference as well as the East. So we saw 4 games happen over on Wednesday, and we saw 10 games happen over on Thursday. So we'll get to all of those game recaps from our past couple of days here. So first, it's the Vancouver Canucks come from behind, scored 4 unanswered goals, and in a big game between two teams fighting for playoff spots, the Canucks would beat the Islanders 5-2. As the Canucks have a point in 6 of 8 and improved to 34, 26, and 12, while the Islanders have lost 3 straight and fall 32, 29, and 10. Islanders are on a bit of a sour stretch after getting themselves back into the playoff race. For the Canucks, Sherrod had a 3-point night, 2 goals and an assist. O'Connor and Suter both had 2 assists, and Forbert, Bluger, and Ratu also scored for the Canucks in the win. While Cizikas had a goal and an assist, and D'Angelo also scored for the Islanders in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but was the Canucks come away with the victory. Then we saw the Devils open up a 2-goal lead and held on to beat the Chicago Blackhawks 5-3. Made it a lot more difficult than it should have been, but Jersey has come away with the victory as they end their 3-game losing streak and improved to 38, 28, and 7. Big win there for the Devils in the playoff race, while the Hawks have lost 8 of 9 and fall to 21, 42, and 9 on the year. That's up there for Chicago. For the Devils, Luke Hughes had 3 assists, Mercer scored twice, Brandon Heischer both had 2 assists, and Bastian Palat and Nosen also scored for Devils in the win, while Donato and Lev Shunov both had 2 assists, and Bertuzzi, Nazar, and Mikheyev were 3-goal scorers for Hawks in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Devils come away with the victory. Then we saw the Anaheim Ducks open up a massive lead, scoring 4 unanswered goals, including this goal here from Jackson Lacombe, all Chicago Sports, and at the time it would make it 3-1 Ducks. It wound up being the eventual game winner. Ducks beat the Boston Bruins 6-2, as the Ducks have a point 4 of 6 and improved to 31, 32, and 8, so closer to 500, while the Boston Bruins have lost 7 straight, 11 of 12, and fall to 30, 34, and 9. I don't think I have ever seen a Boston Bruins team this bad before. For the Ducks, Carlson scored twice, Lacombe had a goal and an assist, Killorn had 2 assists, and McTavish, Nestorenko, and Gauthier also scored for the Ducks in the win, while Geeky had a goal and an assist, and Pasternak also scored for the Bruins in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but domination all around by the Anaheim Ducks. And then in the last game on Wednesday, we saw Dallas Stars storm out to a 4-goal lead and nearly blew it, but held on to beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3. Just play the Uno reverse card on the Oilers, who did the exact same thing a couple of weeks back, as the Stars have won 3 straight, have a 6-game point streak, and improved to 46, 21, and 4, while the Oilers have their 5-game point streak end and fall to 41, 25, and 5. Very bad loss there for Edmonton. For the Stars, Robertson had a hat trick, and Hintz had 3 assists, both had 3-point nights. Harley had 2 assists, and Johnston also scored for the Stars in the win, while Perry and Henrique both had goal and an assist. Bouchard had 2 assists, and Hyman also scored for the Oilers in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, potential Western Conference final preview, but we did see Dallas Stars hold on and get the 2 points. Those were the 4 games we saw over on Wednesday. Going over to the 10 we saw over on Thursday. First, we saw Ottawa Senators go to a 3-goal lead. Nearly blew it, but did hold on and got a massive 2 points, beating the Detroit Red Wings 4-3, as they have won 8 of 11 and improved to 38, 28, and 5, while the Red Wings have lost 4 of 5 and fall 33, 33, and 6 in the year. So a bad loss there from Detroit. For Ottawa, Shabbat, Perron, Amadio, and Stützle were 4-goal scorers for the Senators in the win, while Raymond had a goal and an assist, and Tarasenko and Kane both also scored for the Red Wings in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but was domination from Ottawa for most of that game, and they come away with the victory. Then we saw Buffalo Sabres have a 5-goal second period, including this goal here from Matthias Samuelsson and Chicago Sports. I think at the time we'll make it 4-1 or 4-2 Sabres, and they would hold on to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 7-3, as they have won 3 straight, 5-7, and improved to 30, 35, and 6, while the Penguins have lost 3 straight, 4-5, and fall 29, 34, and 11. So a bad loss there from Pittsburgh. For the Sabres, Kulich scored twice, Krebs, Kozak, Thompson, and Tuck all had a goal and an assist. Delaney and Byron both had 2 assists, and Samuelsson also scored for Sabres in the win, while Clark Crosby, Lizotte, and Hayes were the 3 goal scorers for the Penguins on the loss. This was an intriguing game between two teams who hadn't hit 30 wins, and Buffalo comes away on top in dominant fashion. Then we saw Tampa Bay Lightning open the scoring and shut out the Utah Hockey Club. 8-0 as Tampa has won 5 of 7, improved to 42-25-5, and get a massive win here to keep pace for top spot in the Atlantic, while Utah has fallen to 32-29-11 in an embarrassing fashion game. For the Bolts, Kucherov had 4-point night, goal 3 assists, Hammond had 3-point night, goal 2 assists, Bjorkstrand and Gensel both scored twice, Point had goal and 8 assists, McDonough and Gord had 2 assists, Goncalves also scored, and Vasilevsky stopped all 25 shots he faced in the showdown victory for Tampa. So a very good impressive win there for Tampa as they beat Utah. Then we saw the Philadelphia Flyers go to a 2-goal lead and held on to beat the Montreal Canadiens 6-4, including this goal here from Matvei Michkov, who had a very fantastic game in the first game for Philadelphia since John Tortorella was fired, as he was able to get the 6th goal, the insurance marker, and help Philadelphia win as they have ended their 6-game losing streak and improved to 29-36-9, while the Canadiens have lost 4 straight and fall to 33-29-9, so a bad loss there from Montreal. For the Flyers, Kucherov who had 2 goals and 8 assists, and Michkov who had 2 goals and 8 assists, both had 3-point nights. Deslauriers and Forrester both also scored for Flyers in the win, while Hudson had 2 assists, and Newhook, Caulfield, Dvorak, and Laine were 4 goal scorers for Canadians in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Philly comes away on top. Then we saw Minnesota Wild score 3 unanswered goals and held on to beat the Washington Capitals 4-2, as they have won 4 of 6 and improved to 41-27-5, while the Capitals have their 5-game point streak end and fall to 47-16-9. So a bad loss there for Washington after having a 5-game point streak. For the Wild, Gaudreau scored twice, Boldy had goal and 8 assists, and Merrill also scored for the Wild in the win, while Roy and Dume were 2 goal scorers for the Capitals in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Wild did come away with the victory. Then we saw St. Louis Blues score 3 unanswered goals, and after giving up 2 early ones, they'll come from behind and beat Nashville 3-2 in a game that Calgary, Vancouver, and Utah fans absolutely despised, as the Blues have won 8 straight, have a point in 11 of 12, and improved to 39-28-7, while the Predators have lost 6 of 8, they fall at 27-37-8, and are now officially eliminated from playoff contention. For the Blues, Holloway scored twice, Thomas had 2 assists, and Fowler also scored for the Blues in the win, while Shea and Svechkov were the 2 goal scorers for the Predators in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Blues just look like they are unstoppable right now and come with the victory over Nashville. Then we saw Dallas Stars jump out to a 2-goal lead and held on to beat the Calgary Flames 5-2, as they have won 4 straight, have a point 7 straight, and improved to 47-21-4, while the Flames had their 4-game win streak end and fall of 34-26-11. So a really impressive win there from Dallas in the second half of a back-to-back. For the Stars, Hintz, Granlund, Duchesne, and Rantanen all had goal and 8 assists. Marchman and Robertson both had 2 assists, and Johnston also scored for the Stars in the win, while Kadri scored both goals for the Flames in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but very dominant effort there from Dallas. Then we saw Colorado Avalanche open the scoring and shut out the LA Kings 4-0, as they've won 4 straight, 6 of 7, and they improved to 45-25-3, while the Kings have their 4-game win streak end and fall to 40-22-9. A bad loss there from Los Angeles. Very impressive victory there from Colorado to keep ahead of Minnesota and St. Louis. For the Avalanche, Nate just had 3-point night, 2 goals and 8 assists. Duran had a goal and 8 assists. Makar had 2 assists. O'Connor also scored, and Blackwood stopped all 22 shots he faced in the showdown victory for Colorado. So a very impressive win there from the Avalanche, taking down the Red Hot Kings. Then we saw Seattle Kraken build up a 5-goal lead, and a week after the Oilers were able to take them down, they took down the Oilers in their home 6-1, as the Kraken have ended their 3-game losing streak and improved to 31-36-6, while the Oilers have lost 3 of 4 and fall to 41-26-5. A bad losing streak here for the Oilers. For the Kraken, Short scored twice. Burakovsky, Nyman, and McCann all had a goal and an assist. Larson had 2 assists, and Beniers also scored, with Decord stopping 36 of 37 shots he faced in the win for the Kraken, while Hyman was the lone goal scorer for the Oilers in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but a very dominant effort there from the Seattle Kraken. And the last game we saw over on Thursday was between the Sharks and the Maple Leafs, as the Sharks would blow a late 2-goal lead. The Leafs would tie it with 14 seconds left. This goal here from William Nylander on Coruscant Sportsnet, but they would come from behind late to tie it, but it wouldn't be enough as the Sharks would hold on to win in a shootout 6-5 over Toronto. As San Jose improves to 20-42-9, while the Leafs have a point in 5 of 6 6, but do fall to 43-25-4. So a bad loss there from Toronto. For the Sharks, Toffoli had 3 points with 2 goals and 8 assists. Eklund had a goal and 8 assists. Logren had 2 assists. Graf and Wenberg both also scored in regulation, and Celebrini and Smith were 2 shield goal scorers for the Sharks in the win, while Marner had 3 assists. Nylander scored twice. Tavares and Matthews both had a goal and 8 assists. Nice had 2 assists. Lawton, who scores first as a Leaf, also scored in regulation, and Nylander was the lone shield goal scorer for the Leafs in the show loss. So it was an intriguing game there. Really entertaining comeback from the Leafs, but the Sharks would come away with a show victory. So those are all games we saw from our past couple of days. Lots of intriguing ones for sure, with lots of playoff implications. So go over to the standings and see how they look after those games. So currently at this point in time, 7 teams in the Eastern Conference have hit the 80-point plateau, including 3 teams who have hit the 90-point plateau, and 1 team, that's the Capitals, who have hit triple digits, having 103 points and having clinched a playoff berth. Then you have the 90-point Hurricanes and 90-point Leafs, who have also hit 90 points. Following them, you have the 89-point Panthers, the 89-point Bolts, the 83-point Devils, and now the 81-point Ottawa Senators, who are in the first wildcard position. After that, you have the 75-point Montreal Canadiens, who are in the second wildcard position, and it's still really tight in the race in the Eastern Conference. After that, you have the Islanders at 74 points, play the same amount of games, only 1 back of the Canadiens. The Rangers are at 74 points, they play 1 more game than the Habs and are 1 point back. The Jackets are at 73 points, they've actually played 1 less game than the Canadiens, so they actually have a game in hand on them. They're 2 points back. They have the Red Wings, who have played 1 more game than the Canadiens and are 3 points back at 72 points. And then you also have the Boston Bruins, who are 6 points back, the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are 6 points back, the Philadelphia Flyers, who are 8 points back, and the Buffalo Sabres, who are 9 points back. No team in the Eastern Conference is double-digit points out of a playoff spot. That is crazy. So it's still really tight in the Eastern Conference wildcard race, although Ottawa and Jersey do seem to be having a little bit more separation than the other teams do. Meanwhile, the Western Conference, 9 teams have hit the 80-point plateau, including 4 teams who have hit the 90-point plateau, and 1 team, that's the Jets, who have hit the triple-digit mark. They're at 102 points and have also been the first team in the West to clinch a playoff berth. After that, you have the 98-point Stars, 94-point Knights, 93-point Avalanche, who all also hit the 90-point plateau. And then you have the 89-point Kings, 87-point Oilers, 87-point Wild, 85-point Blues, while in the first wildcard position, Blues in the second wildcard position, and 80-point Canucks, who are 5 points back of the Blues for the last wildcard position with 2 games in hand. So wouldn't be in the playoff spot if they won those games in hand, but still they're decently close enough. The Flames are at 79 points, 6 points back due to 3 games in hand. Win those games in hand, they could still be tied with the St. Louis Blues. Then you have the Utah Hockey Club, who is 10 points out of a playoff spot. They do have 2 games in hand, but still looking very bleak for Utah. So really interesting stuff there in the Western Conference and in the Eastern Conference. St. Louis has definitely taken the second wildcard reins and really run with it. But still interesting to see how tight that Eastern Conference wildcard race is, and that Atlantic Division is still really tight. So definitely, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all that down in the comment section below. That's all I'm going to offer today. What was your opinions on all that was discussed here today? Were the games any surprising to you, and are you surprised by any of the teams' placements in the standings? Definitely love to get your thoughts on all that down in the comment section below. That is all I'm going to offer today. Remember to like this video, and if you like it, remember to subscribe down below. Thank you for all of your support. I would never be able to do this without all of you guys. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below, and don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all that was discussed here today. I also have a blog to make news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that, so check that out. I've linked that down in the description below, and can't wait to see you guys all for the next video. See you guys soon.